This first answer that you'll hear is kind of where I feel like I stood before all of the GWSS education we've got over the years.
What is feminism?
I think it's a movement to support women's rights.
Did you hear how she kind of questioned herself? I feel like that reminds me a bit of myself when I was a freshman and I had never taken a GWSS class. I probably could have come up with an answer, but I would have doubted myself that it was right, not having as much knowledge on the topic like we do now.
What is feminism?
Feminism is fighting for equality, for opportunity, pay, and rights between men and women.
What is feminism?
Feminism is a movement of equality between gender and reaching equality between sexes.
Most people, when I asked them the question, what is feminism, they needed a few minutes to gather themselves and figure out what they wanted to say exactly for the question. And I did notice a lot of people, once they delivered their answer to me, they kind of looked at me like, "Oh, is that a good enough answer?" I just had to keep telling people, well, there's no right or wrong answer, because I wanted what they really thought.
What is feminism?
Feminism is social, political, and economic equality between men and women.
This next person has a really interesting answer. I was quite surprised that she addressed quite a few things that we've talked about over the course of GWSS and all the classes we've taken, talking about gender and how in feminism it shouldn't be limiting you in society, in the workplace, in a lot of aspects of life.
To me, feminism is defined as a movement, social and political, that works to bring equality between the genders in all places, such as business, the home, socially, in different ways, just to ensure whether you're transgender, woman, female, however you define yourself, that your gender does not define where you stand in a business, in society, and stuff like that.
What is feminism?
Equality.
I mean, if you really want to sum up feminism in one word, I think equality is a pretty good one.
I think feminism is often misconstrued as being like man-hating,
We have all heard that before.
but I think instead it's more that understanding that women should be afforded their same respect as a man and we should have the same rights, and it shouldn't matter what gender you are, and that everyone should be on a level playing field.
What is feminism?
I don't think there's like one concrete answer. It's different for every person. But for me personally, I think feminism acknowledges everybody's ability and aspects of their identity and doesn't try to rule out any other person's lived experiences.
I love how she included talking about lived experiences and how feminism doesn't rule out anybody's stories because they're authentic and that's what matters. And we've mentioned this in feminism and GWSS classes about how storytelling and authentic stories is just as important as, information we get from textbooks, if not more important.
And I think feminism is like a term that has negative connotations in society, but it's always transforming. And with as time passes on, it's going to change. Like second wave feminism was definitely different than third wave feminism, and I'm glad because it's more inclusive.
What is feminism?
Well, to me, it's the empowerment of women.
Feminism means that it doesn't mean girl power, it just means that everyone should have equal rights, men and women, and that we should just be viewed as the same level. It doesn't mean that men are better. It doesn't mean that women are better. It just means that we should all work together and that we are a team and we should just all have equal rights, basically.
What is feminism?
Feminism is a great idea, but has been construed by a lot of people for the wrong reasons. And I feel like there needs to be some reform in that sense.
What is feminism?
So I think feminism is just like equality between two genders,
There's that binary we know plenty about.
Like both of them having the same socioeconomic status and or like the same like opportunities and everything, and like the same respect in society isn't like discriminated based on their gender on like some societal norms or something. I think that's all about feminism.
What is feminism?
Feminism is the foundation of equality.
What is feminism?
Feminism is a group of people who are looking for equality for all genders. However, some males also tend to think that it's full of crazy women, and some females think it's all about overthrowing the patriarchy. And personally, I'm all for gender equality, but I think that it's very political at this point in time. It's really hard to get a clear understanding of what feminism is really working for.
Being that we're in an urban setting at UW and a pretty liberal city in Seattle, I thought maybe that had to do with as to why, I got some pretty good answers. I was pretty pleased with the turnout of people who had referenced a lot of different issues in feminism that we cover in class. Not too many answers I got from people were just, completely basic. A lot of people did have something to add outside of just feminism being rights for women. So I enjoyed getting these answers from people.